Hey World History peeps, no intro video or anything. This is just to go over mainly to my A2 class. Shout out to you, especially you know who you are, and any of my other B-Day kids who want to rehash what exactly the Chinese Smackdown assignment really is. So to go over all of it really quick and just make sure you get the hang of what we're doing and why. The purpose of this assignment mainly is to collaborate and understand four different ideologies or ways of thinking that dominated China at about 1000 CE. And so from that, we're going to do a kind of debate that's much more like a SmackDown, like WWE, of talking to each other and like throwing shade and all that. Yeah, I know what I just said. But there's a process to how and what I want you to do to get there. And so it seems like it's a lot, but the purpose of almost all of it is more about collaborating with your peers and getting ready for it. And so I'm going to explain it all real quick in a video because I think it's a lot easier than having you read it and infer from what I said. So the first thing to do is on modules on Canvas, there is Chinese Ideology Smackdown as a page. And you read through there, and I kind of went over some of the basics. But here's the first part. There's a chart of four different ideologies that I want you to fill in. Now, you do need to look up what your ideology is, and I'll tell you that in a minute. But the chart can be filled in using the all four in summary guided readings. And those guided readings have questions on the side as you go up and down reading it so that you can get a clue on understanding. You may work together with people at the same time. Do not work on it and swap answers. And I won't know, but here's the deal. You all are worried about how much work you have or understanding this material. If you want to understand it, you need to work on it and do things like I ask because it's meant specifically as a way to learn. So in this case, my suggestion to you is be on speakerphone with someone or Skype or FaceTime and read it together or at the same time. Read it out loud and alternate if you want. But fill in the chart together talking about the answers. It'll be much more effective and you'll learn it better. I can give you research if you really want, but it's where my master's is, so that'll help you. Going over that, you can discuss things and write things down together so long as you worked together. Not, I'm going to do legalism, Confucianism, you do Taoism, Buddhism, and we'll swap answers. That's just copying and writing stuff down again, and you're not going to learn that way. So, that's the first step, is doing the chart. Then, look at discussions, and it says my Chinese ideology, and when you look at the top of that page, it will show you what your ideology is. And I put you in a group with two other classes also having members of this group. You can collaborate how you see fit. You can use the group section where it says collaborate and make a document that you work on. Someone could create a Google Doc and say, let's all use this one. There's a bunch of questions and a bunch of things to do. Not all of them have to be answered, but the more you are prepared as a group, the better you will be for the Smackdown. So, chart first, because that's the info. Second thing to do is work on those questions. Because here's what's going to happen. The idea in all of this assignment is to embody the ideology that you are assigned. So, there's a basic, okay, I understand a little bit where they're coming from, or this is their main thing, and think like that. And then answer some of the questions. Fill in the blanks that are harder to fill in once you understand them a little better. And from that, you'll be able to tackle any question or issue that comes at you when it comes to debate time. So try to think like them. What would they think? What would they say? You may look up stuff online, but I suggest doing that only after you've done the guided reading. And once again, that's because it's learning a skill. Googling every answer gets it done a lot faster, but you will struggle because you'll say, I did the work, but that's not how you're supposed to do the work. So anyways, you basically can use that document when it comes to the debate. And here's what's going to happen. There's going to be two separate chats you're in at the same time. There is the imperial court, which where the whole class is in, and there's going to be your ideology, so legalism, for example's chat. And so every person in that group has to be the debater at least once. And there will be some kind of quote that is displayed, something like, a revolutionary who lives long enough only turns into a tyrant, or whatever. And whoever wants to start talking can start debating that. The purpose is to advise and tell the emperor what's the best ideology for China. And there might be different takes on it. You don't have to answer directly to the quote. Like legalism, they don't care. Whoever's in charge is ruling. Who cares if they're a tyrant or they're not? A Confucian would say they're not a tyrant because they're working with filial piety. A Taoist would say something like, who could control the wind? You know, the winds of change come all the time. We should not be looking at mortal matters of these things, but look into nature for our guide. And a Buddhist might say, is that really along the path towards enlightenment and salvation? Because no one would be that way if they were truly trying to fulfill themselves and find enlightenment. So you see, all four of them had a very different response to the prompt, but now they have to listen and respond to each other. And so your group, in your group chat, so me and my legalist chat, they can feed me some information like, dude, tear apart that Taoist guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And it might say, here's a suggestion. So you go back into the imperial court where everyone can see, including your group, and you would type and say something maybe, it fully matters what's going on the earth because we're the ones living on it right now, and we need control and order. And you basically hash out these quotes based on what other people have said. You're trying to come out on top. And you don't want to disrespect the individual, but you could certainly disrespect their points of view. So understanding their points of view might also help. So that's really the activity, and that's the process to get there. Now, unfortunately, A days, you guys don't have the day of explanation that I spent, or part of the day, talking too much to my B days. However, everyone can ask or request to talk with me. If we want, I can set up times for tomorrow and say, okay, legalists talk to me this day, or this hour, Confucians, Taoists, Buddhists. And I can set 20-minute intervals or something after school if you really want. But you all have to coordinate that. And if you ask that and say, can you tell this to the rest of them? I could do that. But once again, you do need to ask. And you have to do some of the legwork. This isn't Mr. Johnson, tell us about Confucianism, and we'll write it down. But I'll ask, what did you get? What do you need to understand? What's the catch there? And that way we can learn and do this so we're prepared for Thursday and Friday's debate. So that's it. Thanks for the video. I'm sorry it's so long, probably. I haven't checked how long it's actually taken me, but sure enough, it's probably too long anyway. Oh, 8 minutes, great. So anyway, use this at your leisure, do what you want, but good luck. Email me if you have questions. This will be fun. It won't be fun for you when you're in the hot seat because you're going to be worried about how you're doing. But for everyone else, they'll be all right. So anyway, good luck. Laters.